Hi, I'm Mike Wentz, and I'm here today at St. Lucie Parish, and I'm going to show you how to use the sound system the way it was intended to be used um, when we built it. So the first thing we're going to start with is the mixer. The mixer is normally stored here next to the organ, and it's designed to be moved out here into the middle of the wire area so that we have just a very small number of wires that run from behind the organ to the mixer. So this is very manageable. You can put a carpet over it if you like. But the intent is to connect all the wires while the mixer is out here. If you want to come around this side. In the mixer cabinet, there are three devices. At the top, the most visible is the mixer itself. Just below the mixer, right here, is a power distribution unit. And we'll talk about that in a moment. And then down here at the bottom is an amplifier, and this is what drives the monitors that some choirs use. The intent is to kind of look the system over before you connect anything or power it up. The reason for that is we can't always guarantee that the mixer is left in a workable state. So I'm going to show you a couple things to look for when you come in before you turn on the mixer and before you connect any wires. So let's come around to the back and let's look at the mixer. The mixer is designed to have 8 microphones, 1 through 8, and 6 instrument connections here. The microphone connections are connected here, and the instruments are connected here. Now you notice one is missing. Someone disconnected it. I don't know why, but all of the wires are numbered. I don't know if you can see that. And so if you find a wire that's disconnected, figure out what number it is and what number it is on the mixer and simply plug it in. The intent is when you connect wires like microphones and instruments, they're connected down here, not here. The reason is when you plug these wires in and out of these things, over time, these begin to wear out. And it's much less expensive to replace these than it is to replace it up here. So step number 1, make sure all the wires are in the right place. And you can see 1 through 8, 15 and 16. Then we have numbers 9 through 14 for instruments. These two are the output to the Parish sound system to make it play through the speakers. This wire is the Parish sound system feeding back into the mixer. And you ask yourself, why would I want to do that? The reason is so that the choir can hear the presider, the ambo, and the commentator through the monitors. It also helps a tremendous amount to be able to hear the cantor who's singing the psalm. If this wire was not here, you could not hear the cantor, you can't hear the homily, and you can't hear the ambo or the commentator. So this is a very important wire to make sure is connected. One other thing you want to make sure of, you want to come around over here, and we'll look closely at these knobs. These knobs are called pads, P-A-D-S, and their purpose is to match the type of equipment that you're using, say a microphone, to the mixer. Now this has already been set up for you, and all of the pads should be set in the 2 o'clock position. If they're not, just move them. So all these pads across here should be set in the 2 o'clock position, except number 16. It should be set at about, what is that, 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
10 o'clock, about 10 o'clock. So you want to make sure that these are all set at 2 o'clock, except number 16, which should be set at about 10 o'clock. Once you've done that, the system will now work for you predictably. So you can connect all your wires and power up the system. So let's move on and connect some wires. So let's start this one first. So the first thing we want to connect is a microphone. And the microphones are labeled here 1 through 8. So you just very easily connect your cables here 1 through 8. To remove the cable, there's a little tab here. You have to push it with your thumb and pull out. Insert, remove. Similarly, with equipment cables, typically a guitar or a bass, these go in, 9 through 14. And you just plug it in. And the same thing, to pull it out, you have to press with your thumb and slip it out. Install, remove. There is one spare, number 15 here, is if you need a 9th microphone, you can plug it in here. Okay? So now you've got everything connected. The other thing I want to point out is there is a power distribution cord stored in the bottom of the mixer that's connected to the power distribution unit underneath here. That means that the power that you're getting here is filtered and cleaned up, so you're getting good clean power to your instruments. So you want to plug them into this box and not anything else, because that way the whole system is integrated and you have clean power.